Over the last decade, two players have dominated the NFL and set a new standard at their position.
Reggie, you got help! Hey, take it to another level, all right?
No, for a change, we're not talking about Brady and Manning. Today, our focus is on Ed Reed and Troy Polamalu.
And it is picked off by Troy Polamalu.
Throws down the middle, intercepted Ed Reed.
Ed Reed is one of the great safeties in the game.
Ed and Troy are in the latter stages of their careers. But NFL head coaches who still have to face them remain in awe of these two safeties.
When you coach young safeties and you go to the combine, you interview these guys coming out of college, who do you emulate? Who do you look, who do you pattern your game after? And they always say Troy, and they say Ed.
Yeah! Get off the field!
And when you go to look at the next draft class and so forth, we're looking for the next Troy Polamalu or Ed Reed.
Boy, you're an MVP, boy. You're a beast out there.
Tom Brady knows what it's like to be an MVP. So does Peyton Manning. If you're going to beat them, you have to stop them.
Touchdown! Great job by Tom Brady.
The same can be said for Ed and Troy.
Well, I think there's a great comparison. I think the focal point of a lot of teams is the quarterback. It's the nature of our game. And when you play the game as well as Tom Brady and Peyton Manning have played it, it's easy to see why they've gotten all the attention they've gotten. But when you talk about Ed Reed and Troy Polamalu, they've done the same thing for their teams, just in a different way.
Throws it over the middle of the field. The pass is juggled and incomplete.
No. Troy got it.
Intercepted. What a catch. He kept his hand underneath. And another great interception from this marvelous safety.
Face mask, man! What's up, boy?
Oh, my goodness!
Best safety in the history of the game. I don't think it's close.
Ed Reed really is, to me, the most complete and best safety that I've ever seen in the National Football League.
He got fear in his heart. He got fear in his heart. I can smell it. If they catch the ball, hit him hard, dog. They soft, man. They soft. They don't want physical football. They don't want physical football. Keep them going. Keep them going. Keep them going. I ain't James Brown. I want no jacket. James Brown, bad boy, though.
One of the greatest plays I ever saw him make was against Manning, where he lined up on the weak side of the formation, and on the snap of the ball, he turned and ran to the middle of the field like he was going to play in the middle of the field. And of course, Manning read that and came back and threw the go back to the X. And Reed knew that when he went to the middle of the field that Peyton would come back to the X. So he ran to the middle of the field, but without even looking at the quarterback, he just turned and wheeled before he got to the hash mark, and just knew that was going to be the play, and ran over to the sideline and intercepted it. I mean, it's just so obvious when he's reading the quarterback.
Yeah.
Those receivers will run right past him, and he never flinches.
Yeah.
He doesn't even acknowledge him, and he's just reading the quarterback.
Yeah. He's always moving.
Hey, man, y'all had us flustered, man. All that moving and stuff.
Yeah, man. He's on the quarterback. He's on him. Doesn't even take this Vincent Jackson running right past him.
Unbelievable.
Let's get him, man. He put it in the air. Let's make him pay.
No, Ed Reed. Watch Ed Reed. No, don't throw it.
Anderson steps to throw.
It's intercepted. Ed Reed's got it at the 20. Ed Reed, pick six.
Since he was drafted out of Miami in 2002, Reed has gained the most interception return yards in NFL history.
Throws it downfield, and Ed Reed picks it off in the end zone.
Get out.
Now he's bringing it out. Here he comes.
Oh, God. Dang it, Ed.
He's at the 20. Ed Reed at the 30. He's going to go.
Go in.
He's got one jet to beat.
Not only would he pick it, he'd run it for a touchdown.
With him, it was never about getting the ball. It was about scoring with the ball in his hands.
Cobb throws, end zone intercepted. Ed Reed's got it. 10-yard line coming back. He gets by Cobb at the 30-yard line. Sheds a tackle at midfield. He's down the Eagle sideline. One man to beat. Cuts back at the 20. He's at the 10. 5. Touchdown. Ed Reed covers the length of the field. And you better believe the hay's in the barn now.
But what makes Reed extra special is how he contributes in other areas of the game. Reed is the first player in league history to return an interception, a fumble, a punt, and a blocked punt for a touchdown.
Watch the ball.
Go block it?
Yeah, watch the ball quick.
You know, a lot of people forget how good Ed Reed was as a punt rusher. I personally always felt that if he had been on my team, I don't think I would have ever taken him off the punt return team. I would have always left him out there on the end to rush the punter because he's such a threat and he's so dynamic out there blocking punts for touchdowns.
Just an unbelievable play again. Ed Reed coming up with the big play. This guy is a complete football player.
While Baltimore's best ball hawk ever deserves plenty of praise, he isn't the only safety who is head and shoulders above the rest.
Hi, Mr. Vaney. This is Troy Polamalu from the Pittsburgh Steelers. Yes, I am the guy with big hair. Anyway, I'm calling to tell you that Head & Shoulders now has 4 shampoos just for men. Right. I haven't cut my hair for 10 years.
In those 10 years, the guy with the big hair has been the guy making the big plays in Pittsburgh.
Right when you need a big play, who shows up? Number 43.
I'll never forget when Troy swiped the ball in Baltimore on the blitz and on their sideline. Somebody said, how can you not know where the hair is?
Flacco is going to be hit by Polamalu. Ball's out.
You know, I always say, well, he plays with his hair on fire, you know, that's the truth. And look at that hair.
Across midfield and dragged down by Larry Johnson from behind. He grabbed him by his hair.
He got the hair.
Troy's one of those guys that you're the opposing, offensive coordinator, and those guys, they're sitting there, and the first guy they're talking about is, okay, what are we going to do to take care of, a guy with all the hair hanging out of the back of his helmet?
Take care of Polamalu off the edge.
It's always a challenge when you prepare. Matter of fact, we found a big, long wig. We put it under a couple of our players on the practice field, just so we knew where Troy was all the time.
They want to bring Polamalu. He's down there.
Troy is extremely fast and extraordinarily explosive. You see him just flash across the screen, he'll take off out of coverage to go make a play.
Goes to the wraparound draw, and great tackle. Flying in there is Polamalu.
I love Troy, and I can still remember going to his pro day at Southern Cal. They had this low ceiling. My first job was at USC as a graduate assistant. So they had the vertex, the thing they, test the guys for the vertical. They took one of the tiles out in the roof. And all I remember was Troy jumping up and disappearing, basically, going through. And I didn't think he was going to ever come down, And they yell out 44 inches, and the place is going nuts.
What a play by Troy Polamalu!
There's one play, and it was one of the most athletic plays I've ever seen. Troy was working across the field and got blocked and spun around and tackled the ball carrier with his back.
Yeah, it was a thing of beauty.
It's really impressive.
Alert Polamalu over the top.
You know, it's rare that when you look across there and you're like, man, what a great player. Like Polamalu, it's like, man, I wish he was on our team. That's the kind of guy he is.
Coming up, more Ed being Ed. And Troy being Troy.
They tried to sneak it. Oh, Troy came up over the top.
Superman. What are you doing? You killing me.
Hey, line up in this. I'm gonna come from short underneath, like we did last time.
You want to come?
It don't matter. What you want to do? Come on, rock, paper, scissors. Whoever win, go.
Go.
It will likely be an easy decision when it comes time to vote Ed Reed and Troy Polamalu into the Hall of Fame. And it's also safe to say that their acceptance speeches will be quite different.
Yeah! Let's go! Yeah!
Although Ed may be more vocal than Troy, both Reed and Polamalu have sent shockwaves through the NFL.
Be special today. I need you, all right? I need you today, baby.
As a guy who's been on the offensive side of the ball my whole career and preparing quarterbacks to play games, I can tell you right now that the two most difficult players to prepare a quarterback to play in the NFL are those two guys.
Intercepted, picked off Ed Reed.
What a play by the best safety in the business.
There's not any two players any better than seeing formations, seeing tendencies, and getting all over those type of things and making plays. They're the best.
My memories of Polamalu will be more about being around the line of scrimmage and just being so disruptive that way.
2nd and 4 from the 17. Polamalu goes through the gap, and down goes Dalton. What a play!
Wow. Troy doing what Troy does.
Polamalu came diving over the line.
Yeah, they tried to sneak it. Oh, Troy came up over the top.
Superman. What are you doing? You're killing me.
And you see him, he had that knack of jumping over the top and tackling the quarterback. Well, he's supposed to be playing deep third, or cover 2.
You play dumb sometimes, you know what I mean? You act like you don't understand defensive concepts, but then when we get football games get hot, you're a D coordinator. You know what I mean? You're a funny guy.
They don't want to take any chances. Oh, Polamalu again jumping the gun. You talk about having a quarterback snap count down pat.
We have the freedom to switch positions, do different things if we feel different things, and I use some of my liberty.
Right when I think you can't do nothing else stupid as this, you totally redeem yourself.
It's about football. You got to want to win.
With Ed, I think you have to know where he is as a quarterback. You have to know where he is every time the ball leaves your hand. I remember when we had him in the Pro Bowl, and I told him, I said, Ed, you're the free safety, and I just want you to go wherever you think they're throwing the ball. And if you do anything at all here today, you should have 3 interceptions the way you play, because that's all you have to do is read the quarterback and go to the ball. He said, Coach, I love it. So he had 2 and dropped 1.
48-yard line. Tony Romo to throw. Deep down the sideline. It is intercepted. Intercepted by Ed Reed, his 2nd of the game.
Ed and Troy have left a mark on the game that is unlikely to be repeated. But at least we'll always be able to debate who is better.
Plenty of time throwing down the middle. Ed Reed picks it off.
We are seeing Troy Polamalu as the best safety in the game here tonight.
Ed Reed is one of the great safeties in the game, maybe the best in the game right now.
You're the greatest safety ever. You're the greatest safety ever.
I say Ed Reed, but you the best, baby.
I took a lot of heat one time because I called Ed the best safety in the league, and Troy got a little upset with me. I said, I had to say it, man. We're playing the Ravens, I can't tell him that you're the best. He'll be best, But he tried to pay me back for about 3 years trying to intercept everything in practice.
And those two are just like, you might as well just write, as long as they're healthy, you write them in every year for the Pro Bowl. One's as strong as 80, one's a free safety.
God, you are so awesome. Good game, my vote for MVP, boy. Thanks, man. Baller.
Like, it's no secret that those two defenses have been at the tops in the league every year, right there with the Jets, since I took over. But it's because of players like that.
Ed Reed with what might be the game-breaking play.
In crunch time, they're the two guys that always stand out. They made the plays to win the games.
Flacco in the gun. He's back. And it's intercepted. Troy Polamalu
They're the best that's ever played.
Ed Reed with what might be the game-breaking play.
Another great play by the greatest safety I have ever seen play this game.